I too look forward to my session with them. So usually now this is the 25th year of Chanakya Mandal, but back in the service also I was regularly conducting guidance for UPSC. So as far as my guidance is concerned, this is the 36th year, and usually my session is at 6 p.m. So as 6 p.m. begins to approach, I start feeling happy that now I'm going to go with my students and enjoy. Today, here in cyberspace, we are going to enjoy for 90 minutes. That was my idea of how long a session should be in cyberspace. In physical, geographical, the dimension called 3 plus 1, three dimensions of space and one dimension of time. There our usual session is 2 hours. But today we are going to discuss for 1.5 hours. In initial few minutes, I'm going to just present some points for you, leaving substantial amount of time for your questions. One small clarification also for everyone's benefit, that since this is UPSC interaction, I have chosen to start speaking in English. Language in which you want, especially three languages: Marathi, Hindi, English. This is the national language policy. Three language formula: English as the lingua franca of the world, Hindi as our official language under the constitution, but it's an informal national language already, and Marathi as another national language predominantly spoken in this part of the country. So even today's session can be in any of the languages you prefer. You are welcome to also tell me to explain a particular point in, say, now that I'm speaking in English, you are welcome to tell me that please explain this in Marathi for further clarification. So we follow India's three language formula. Now, two of the phrases which are dear to my heart, and I know that they are also dear to the hearts of those who have already been at Chanakya Mandal. In fact, the first word is Namaste, the beautiful word. That single term means divinity in me salutes divinity in you. Therefore, it also means that all of us have the same divinity in us. There cannot be a better definition of equality, that we are equals. And our relationship is basically based on trust, and the relationship is that of friendship. But also remember that Namaste, divinity in me, salutes divinity in you, also says that the entire universe consists of a single energy. And we also are the manifestations of that energy. So it is what physics also has proven, and that is our Adhyatma philosophy. So we are very clear that Chanakya Mandal is based on that Adhyatma philosophy. Actually, we translate that into reality by starting our session with a 3.5 minute meditation. Today's interaction also is informal. We are not going to do it, but maybe next time onwards, even in the cyberspace, we start doing that. Actually, when a student joins Chanakya Mandal, whichever be the course, usually the first session is with me. And in the first session, what I teach everyone is how to meditate. I'm not going to do that today. The point is translating Adhyatma philosophy in practice. We also close our sessions with a prayer, which also we are not going to do today. Today we are just going to informally interact. But this is what I thought of reminding everyone. So my first word actually is Namaste. The next one is my life song, really. My life song. and that phrase has to be spoken in Marathi for the rhythm, for the intensity of the feelings. The Marathi term इथं नाव दिलंय की माझ्या जीवनाच्या गाण्याचं हे ध्रुपद आहे. म्हणजे वेगवेगळी कडवी होतील पण ती किती झाली तरी पुन्हा त्या मूळवर म्हणजे सर्वांना सर्व काळ सर्व शुभेच्छा. Its closest English translation is all my best wishes for all of you. My best wishes are absolutely unconditional and the best wishes are eternal. We are here to enjoy our UPSC preparation. Now with this, I will share three main points with you, see how much time, whatever time is required. And then of course, it is open for you. The one who was talking to you before I took over was Swapnil Mungle. Either Swapnil, who is faculty at Chanakya Mandal and he is Chanakya Mandal CEO, and Siddhartha Dharmadhikari, who is also sitting by my side. They will coordinate the session. In fact, I am also I'm looking forward to your questions. But I thought some 3 points told to you. Just recently, first point, and you want to name that point, it is about Atmanirbhar Bharat. Prime Minister presented the on May 12 in a special address to the country. And then for next 5 days, from May 13 to May 17, Finance Minister presented the whole package. Each day, the package was focused on a specific area. And the whole package is 20.97 lakh crores. Now, more than even the money, policy announcements are important. In the light of their importance, I conducted 8 sessions for previous 8 days. The last session I conducted just day before yesterday. For 8 days, I conducted special sessions on Atmanirbhar Bharat. 4 sessions are in Marathi, and similarly, another 4 are in English. In 3 out of 4, I have first of all presented and explained the whole package. A lot of explanation was needed. For example, when Prime Minister says, first of all, how does he define the vision Atmanirbhar Bharat? I'm not going to go there right now. I'm just reminding because there is a specific point I want to share with you. So how does Prime Minister define this term? Then in doing so, Prime Minister presented 5 words that we will aim at ensuring the translation of the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat into reality via these 5 points, via these 5 words: economy, infrastructure, technology, demography, and demand. 5 words. And then he stated another 4 words that in terms of policy decisions, that from next day, the Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, will present the whole view. And he said we will focus on 4 words for economic transformation. These 4 words are all L words. It is land, labor, liquidity, law. So now the whole package in monetary terms is 20.97 lakh crore. But what is much more important than monetary terms are the policy announcements. They are extremely important. I must tell you that they are also important for our personal lives. Atmanirbhar Bharat is going to be important for UPSC 2021 attempt. Atmanirbhar Bharat is likely to be important also for now the prelim 2020 that is scheduled for 4th of October. since it is going to be on 4th of October, I can tell you that papers will be recast. Original exam was to be on 31st of May, but the whole corona disaster can be said to have begun in the right earnest in India by like mid-March. And then the state lockdowns started. Maharashtra was the first one, then the national lockdown. And as of today, while a so-called lockdown unlock 1 may be there, and we are supposed to be in lockdown until June 30th, but you take a look at the roads and everything has practically almost started, so to say. So the sessions in the cyberspace also are made necessary thanks to this corona-induced situation. So we need to study Atmanirbhar Bharat. Based on what I just said, all I am telling you is that those 4 sessions are on Chanakya Mandal's YouTube channel. I request you to go there. If you like, of course, then subscribe, but make it a point to watch those 4 videos each, depending on whichever language you are comfortable in. In 3 out of 4, I have actually explained the whole package. By and large, in initial 3 sessions, I have tried not to pass a value judgment or pass critical comments, only objectively understand the package. And then I held the 4th session in each language, and that was exclusively my comments, and that is about 90 minutes. Now, the way it has went on for last 8 days, there were literally hundreds of participants, I may say 1,000, and they have requested a question and answer session. I'm always there for you, and I'm happy when intelligent minds are listening, and when especially students say, sir, we want interaction with you, I'm all yours. So we are going to arrange a discussion and interaction on Atmanirbhar Bharat, and it will be 8 clear days after today. 8 clear days after today. So try and these 4 talks on Atmanirbhar Bharat. Maybe take down your notes, be ready with your questions, and the date will be announced. And since all of you have registered for this session, we will also let you know what is that date, and we will have an interaction on Atmanirbhar Bharat, your questions and interaction on Atmanirbhar Bharat. That was, my dear friends, first point I wanted to share with you. Second point is to start preparing for UPSC 2021. It is June 15, and like you, I am myself aware of lots of uncertainties that are there. Uncertainty breeds a kind of insecurity. Uncertainty also builds tension. But the genius lies in coming out with our best in the conditions of uncertainty. Like there is a beautiful sentence about decision-making skills, that a good decision maker is able to take a complete decision on the basis of incomplete information. So a good decision maker fills up that incomplete information, and you are to be officers within at the most 2 years from now on. And then on every day you will have to take decisions. And you will see that not enough information is on hand and still the decision is required to be taken. That's a regular predicament of human life, but more so because of Corona. Now Maharashtra state 10th and 12th exams were largely complete. 12th was complete. As far as 10th standard is concerned, one geography paper was still left to be conducted. But Maharashtra has decided that 10th exam is over, and based on average performance of each student, marks will be assigned for the geography paper. But central government, all India Higher Secondary or CBSE, Central board, their exams were not over. And there are enough number of schools in Maharashtra which are affiliated to CBSE or AISE, etc. So there is uncertainty there. Now, even while 10th and 12th exams have taken place in Maharashtra, about their results there is uncertainty. And there is an announcement just today that both of the boards said that they will try to announce results by mid of August, which means the admissions for 11th and FY will begin after that. And then those of us who are seeking to appear for 2021 attempt. Now, I don't know, but I understand that there is a large possibility that many, if not most of us, will be in the last year of their college for 2021. So maybe you plan your studies for the university exam and simultaneously start preparing for UPSC. But for the 2020 attempt, we know this uncertainty. And when this uncertainty was clarified by UPSC, I gave a post on Facebook saying, disciplined body that UPSC is. Until 15 days ago, my batchmate was secretary UPSC. Now he retired and another senior lady has taken over. She also is IAS officer. But UPSC is a disciplined body. So in corona conditions, all UPSC did is to just say that the exams are deferred, but we will tell you well in advance. So the exam that was scheduled for 31st of May, UPSC deferred it and said that we will make the next announcement on May 20th. So we know when to look forward to. By May 20th also lockdowns were on. So UPSC said that now the umpires will inspect the pitch again on June 5 and let you know the decision. And on June 5, it was finally announced that now 2020 attempt is on 4th of October. So the element of uncertainty is not there. All we are left with is corona-induced situation. But that is the test of our nerves then to focus. At the end of the day and on balance, what I'm trying to therefore say is, for those of us who are serious about 2021 attempt, now is the time to start our preparation in the right earnest. So I'm going to just make a few points about what do I mean by starting the preparation in the right earnest. Huh? In terms of studies, my suggestion is start with all NCERT books from 5th to 12th standard. UPSC syllabi, it's the plural of syllabus. It's not syllabuses. There will be different buses in Delhi Transport Corporation. It is syllabi. So UPSC syllabi have a direct link with NCERT books. All the books are available on the net. They are free. You can also download, and downloading is also allowed and it is free. There is no copyright infringement. So I am suggesting you to start with NCERT books. Along with that, I am recommending to you 3, I call them guides. You are welcome to pick up any one of them. And remember, eventually, if you join Chanakya Mandal course, that may be the brief point I would be sharing with you. You will be. Okay. It so happens that the light at my home, I'm sitting in my study. Some of you know me, and what you see at the back is my heaven. My head. Those are all books. So I would recommend 3 basic guides. I call them guides. So I would suggest anything. These 3 are equally like good. Pick up any one of them. And especially if there is a friend circle who are preparing together, then each one of you may think of buying different guides so that over a period of time you can exchange them and also exchange your notes along with them. So one is, its original name was Tata McGraw-Hill. We then used to call TMH. But out of that group now Tatas are out. So the McGraw-Hill Education, that is how it is now called, MHE. MHE, McGraw-Hill Education, has published one exclusive book each for each subcomponent. Today talking to you, I'm kind of presuming that you know that there are 6 subcomponents for GS and there are 6 subcomponents for CSAT. While for UPSC, CSAT is only qualifying and still we need to take it seriously. For GS, there are 6 subcomponents. For that is if it is pre, and in the main exam you have GS 1, 2, 3. GS for prelim gets expanded into GS 1, 2, 3 for main exam, and then another GS 4, which is ethics, integrity, aptitude. I myself going to conduct special sessions on it. That comes into picture. MHE has published one exclusive book each for each subcomponent. So for example, by now, Lakshmikant is like Amitabh Bachchan in the study of constitutions. That is it's mandatory. Now M. Lakshmikant book on Indian Constitution is published by McGraw-Hill Education. So on and so forth. For example, many I have seen them study Indian economy by Ramesh Singh. Now that is McGraw-Hill Education book. So one source is McGraw-Hill Education. Second source is this guide called Spectrum. The Spectrum guide comes in 2 formats. It is either one big thoka, like 2,700 pages of a magazine size, or Spectrum also gives one exclusive book for each subcomponent. So the second option is Spectrum. And similarly, the third one is this group called Pearson, Pearson, Pearson. I am requesting you to get hold of one of them and peacefully, quietly start reading it on. Complete your first reading based on your own pace, etc. Complete your first reading. Okay. Now the second last point I'm sharing is that is in the increasing order of importance. That especially when you are here at Chanakya Mandal, I really urge you to understand Chanakya Mandal. So just a few required minutes need to be spent. And this is the point dearest to my heart. My dear friends, Chanakya Mandal is not just a coaching class. With all due respect and best wishes to those who are coaching classes. To study well in a disciplined fashion and clear the exam, you get money, security, status and power, all without asking for you. And I'm talking of honest money. You get honest money enough to maintain a higher standard, a higher middle class standard of living. So why have greed for more money? Always more, always more money. Why have that greed? You are going to get it. The real challenge is the 5th word, that is service to people. And we are here to develop youngsters who will join the system with a motive of serving the country. And country, nation is nothing but people. So serving the people. As I talk to you today, it fills my heart with pleasure to share with you that literally hundreds and thousands of officers who prepared at Chanakya Mandal and are now in the service are giving outstanding performance. At the most, maybe there is an exception of about 1 or 2 in like 25 years. Now we are beginning 25th year. And by God's grace, we have officers who are literally posted from Kanyakumari to Kashmir and Kutch to Kohima. and they are giving outstanding performance. They have created an identity there. Our dream is to develop clean and efficient officers. And there is a name at Chanakya Mandal Parivar for clean and efficient officers. That name is Karyakarta Adhikari. While introducing me, Swapnil told you that for 11 years before becoming IAS officer, I was a full-time Karyakarta, participating many movements, traveling all over India, studying the problems of national integrity and development, writing on them, and also getting down onto the road, picking up common man's questions, so on and so forth. It is actually that journey that gave me an idea of joining the civil service. I thought if with the same fire in my heart, fire to serve Bharat Mata, but if I have powers of IAS officer in my hands, I'll be able to serve more. So our dream is to develop such Karyakarta Adhikaris for India, including Indian Foreign Service. But also remember on this day one itself that basically this is competitive exam. By saying this, what I mean to say is that even with best of your preparation and all, it's my job to tell you today that it's very much possible that in spite of studying well, in a disciplined fashion, it is unfortunately quite possible that you still may not end up by clearing the exam. Is that a failure? I will say no, it's not failure. Last year, 11 lakh students had filled up the form to appear for UPSC prelim. Out of those 11 lakh, 8 lakh something thousand turned up for prelims. From those 8 lakh something thousand who turned up for the prelims, barely 12,000 were picked up for main exam. Out of those 12,000, approximately 2,400 have been invited for interviews. And now we know that actually this year, UPSC is still to conduct the interviews of last 2 weeks. Some 600 candidates are yet to be interviewed. Now their interviews are scheduled from July 20 to 31st. So this year we are expecting result by August 7, 8, 9, 10 or something. That's it. That's the scene. Finally, about 1,000 will be selected. Okay, to the base of 11 lakh. And remember, 11 lakh who filled up the form, how many must have been preparing? And also remember that presumably these are best of the brains. So get ready for like the fest of a competition. Again, UPSC exam, civil service exam is considered toughest in India, and IIT entrance also is considered equally tough. I know both the exams, so let me tell you that on some counts, IIT exam is tougher than UPSC. For example, in objective multiple choice type questioning, in IIT entrance, there is negative marking to the tune of 3 times. And in UPSC, it is 1/3. So that makes UPSC less tougher. But except for that point, UPSC is way tougher, way more challenging than IIT. Generally for IIT entrance, about 200,000, 2 lakh youngsters appear. Here, 11 lakh. And presumably best of the brains. So that's it. And after all, in appearing for UPSC civil service, you are asking for a job to run India for Indians. To run India for it. So the exam is indeed tough. So at Chanakya Mandal, we aim at developing ourselves in such a way that for life we create a situation of win-win. That I prepare for civil service exam, and if I clear, I win. But in spite of my having done everything correctly, I would say perfectly, somehow if I do not end up by clearing the exam, skies will not fall. That I develop myself during the same time in such a way that it's a win-win situation. And I'm happy to tell you that if hundreds and thousands have succeeded at competitive exams from Chanakya Mandal, many more than those hundreds and thousands have also succeeded in their life. I get to travel all over Maharashtra and India too. And so many Chanakya Mandal students meet me with such love and affection. I become the richest person. Thanks to students' love and affection, I am richer than Bill Gates or like Anil Ambani. So, how to plan win-win situation? Those are the details that will follow. But we are here at Chanakya Mandal to develop clean and efficient officers, that is Karyakarta Adhikaris. So be sure that you want to be clean and efficient officer, and then and only then step into Chanakya Mandal. The guidance will be outstanding, I know that. In a few minutes now, I will take your questions. I am requesting you just two small things, just two. If you do that, hopefully before we meet. Huh? One, my dear friends, please read Chanakya Mandal prospectus fully. It is not just a prospectus of a coaching class which is sold and all you have to do is fill up the form and submit it. In our prospectus, I have personally what all Chanakya Mandal is. So please read it carefully, and you and I will meet again, and your questions about it are all welcome. I will try to respond to your questions. My faculty will try to respond to your questions, and we will continue our happy journey, our happiness journey. So please read prospectus. And for the time being, second last point I am saying is, if you want to start preparing for UPSC, please read the book Nava Vijay Path written by Avinash Dharmadikari. That is like 350 pages of like entire spectrum of preparation of civil service exam. I am happy to share with you that now the English edition also is available. You can contact on given number and we can dispatch the book to your home. But please read that book much more than what I'm speaking right now, because after all I'm just speaking for about half an hour, leaving just less than 1 hour for your questions. So please read Nava Vijay Path. And lastly, about the this course, this ongoing course, just a few sentences about this course. Now, Corona has forced us to consider online education. I keep missing my heartbeat because I understand how people are worried at their homes. And middle class or lower middle class, and in fact, a heart-rending situation is with related to migrant labor and all. I keep missing heartbeat. And then in spite of that, we need to continue with the preparation if we are serious about 2021 attempt. Here is the time when we need to start. So enter online education. Right since March, once I understood that this lockdown, etc. is going to go on, for the previous batches, we went on conducting some selected sessions online. Then we prepared for them. And here we are now actually launching the activity. From today till June 30th, 30, you will have a UPSC session every alternate day. Every alternate. So this week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday will all be UPSC sessions. The next session will be taken by Swapnil, wherein he will explain, that is day after tomorrow, he will explain the entire design of the course. However, if you have any question even today, do let me know. And when we start, we have deliberately taken the software Zoom, you know that it is two-way interactive. So it's not just lecture format. When the session is on, you can really raise your hand anytime, ask a question, or like now, in another 2-3 minutes, I'll close and start taking your questions. So from today till 1st of July. And then the course will commence in the right earnest from 1st of July. Then think of a situation when Corona will have passed over. when, let me say, normal life may begin, although this time it's going to be the new normal. It's not going to be back to the normal. For humanity, including your and my personal life, it's going to be the new normal. Whenever that happens, again, long and short of the whole thing is when we can start conducting our regular sessions. You have choices available. You can continue in Zoom, sitting at home, sipping a cup of tea or coffee, wearing the clothes that you want as long as the upper part is properly covered, and taking down your notes. And it is two-way relationship. So you are free to continue in Zoom, and you are also free to join the regular sessions live, that is 3+1 dimensions. So with this, my dear friends, I wish all the very best for everyone and close my initial comments. It's all up to you now. So Swapnil and Siddharth will coordinate who is to ask a question, and we will continue to enjoy for next 50 minutes.
Hello.
नाही ना, मला प्रश्न दाखवतो.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, sir. I'm attempting for 2021.
Yeah.
So I've finished reading NCRTs. What should be the next strategy?
Yeah, I request you to tell us your name. Everyone can remember.
My name is Amar.
And then ask your question.
My name is Amar. I'm attempting for 2021. I've finished 2 times readings of NCRTs.
Yeah.
Now, what should be the next strategy?
One of the 3 guides I just suggested. Have you read them?
Yes, I've brought books.
Which ones?
Indian polity and the optional subject books.
No. I would pick up the set of books for pre and mains by either MHE or Spectrum or Pearson. That is the next stage.
Should I first cover optional or should I go with GS?
My suggestion will be GS for mains and optional should be done simultaneously. And as far as 2021 attempt is concerned, you should be finishing your preparation for the main exam by December 30th, 30. Then enjoy 31st of December. And as I always like to say, enjoy it without alcohol. And effectively from 1st of January, focus on prelims. I hope it becomes clear to you, Amar.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste, sir. I am Saurabh Kundlekar from Mumbai.
Yeah.
My question is, there are many individuals who want to work as Indian diplomats.
Yeah.
What should be the focus of such candidates? What other skills they need to develop along with preparing for civil services exams? Thank you, sir.
So, Saurabh, your question means that you also are personally interested in foreign service, right?
Yes, sir.
So, allow me to also repeat my best wishes for you that you do join Indian Foreign Service and serve the country. Chanakya Mandal also has many outstanding youngsters who have joined Indian Foreign Service. In terms of joining Indian Foreign Service, you do not need any separate preparation than what all is required for clearing UPSC exam. You will have to be among the toppers, like first 150. Then you can always place Indian Foreign Service as your first choice. When you fill up the form, you are asked your choices for the service, and you are most welcome to state Indian Foreign Service as your first choice. Along with Saurabh, let me tell everybody that depending on whatever is the service of your choice, we at Chanakya Mandal will place you in connection with the officers who have prepared from Chanakya Mandal and are now in the service. This is our mentorship program. So, for example, Saurabh, you are interested in Indian Foreign Service. We will place you in connection with Chanakya Mandal's Karyakarta Adhikaris who are in the Foreign Service. And then you can continue your connection with them. But I repeat my answer. For joining Indian Foreign Service, you are not required to have any skills different from all those skills that are required to clear UPSC. So I would suggest you right now to focus on not just clearing UPSC, but clearing UPSC with flying colors. You'll have to be among initial less than 150. Your all India rank will have to be less than, and this is for open category. Depending on if you have the benefit of reservations, then some other ranking could be okay. But within that rank also, each time within that category, one will have to be among the toppers. I hope this helps you, Saurabh.
Thank you, sir.
Next question, please.
Hello.
Ah, ah,
Good evening, sir. My name is Shantanu Sathe.
good evening.
Uh, and my question is, what should be the answer writing strategy for mains? And
Right.
means, how should we start to prepare for answer writing?
Yeah, yeah. I will repeat one point, and that is reading Nava Vijay Path. In those 350 pages, I have given a fairly detailed answer to this and many questions. But today, you are most welcome to ask this question. I will try to be brief to respond. First step is to study the question papers, and the time limit is last 5 years. Question papers for the main exam for last 5 years. Then you start discerning a certain pattern, that there is word limit for UPSC questions, and the answer writing skill would mean that you are able to stuff your answer with extraordinary content within the requisite word limit. There are indeed some questions, we call them two markers. Two markers. That is, you are asked to write only 30 words about that question. Some other are 50-word question, 125 words, 150, 200, 250, and as an exception, at the most, the maximum question would be 300 words. The years I gave the exam, there used to be what we used to call as a full question. By full question, I mean 60 mark and 600 words to be written. But then the exam used to be 300 marks. Now each paper is 250 marks. So we need to develop the skill in composition of a language. So the mastery over language and composition. I did my PhD in Indian foreign policy during the Nehru time. And then in the exam, I had one question. My optional was political science. During our years, we were required to have two optionals. So my optionals were history and political science. And in the pol science paper in 1985, there was just one question in paper 2, section B, and that question was critically examine Indian foreign policy during Nehru years. The fourth man. And doing PhD, I would write a thesis of 400 pages, and now I am required to write the whole full essence in 600 words. So we need to develop the skill of English composition and how to stuff our answer in precise words and still be able to finish off the answer in given word limit. So how to open the answer, one line opening. Come to the point directly. Explain the causes of Bolshevik revolution in Russia. We don't take long time with introduction, etc., etc. At the most, one says something like that Bolshevik revolution shook the whole world. Following are the causes of this Bolshevik revolution. You come down to the point immediately. Similarly, there is a closing of an answer. Another one line, meaningful closing. And then within each answer, depending on the word limit, proper paragraphs, each paragraph to have a meaningful title, and your answer should go on unfolding like a natural consequence. If you hear Indian classical music, you will understand my metaphor. That when we hear Indian classical music, every next note in that music follows so naturally from the earlier note that there cannot be anything different than what is being presented there. So our answer should be that beautiful, that lyrical, and every next point or within each point, every next sentence should almost automatically emerge from the earlier one. since you have asked this question, I'm happy to tell you that of course we conduct full sessions on answer writing skills, and we also conduct MCQ tests throughout the year. Then those who perform well in MCQs, they get to write answers whose answers are checked by the faculty, and best of the answers and worst of the answer, two types, come to me, and then we have personal counseling also as a part of our course. As of now, I hope this is okay for you to start with your preparation. तू अशी गॅलरी का ठेवत नाही सगळी? The next question, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Myself Akshay Ganeshkar from Pune only. So my question is, what should be the strategy for history optional, considering the fact that I'm a working professional? So please guide on that. Whether
Good.
I should prepare for history optional solely for 2-3 months, or should I prepare combining with GS?
That part is comparatively simpler. You should combine it with GS, not just only history for 3 months. Now,
Okay.
history is a beautiful subject, as are all other subjects. But I hope you heard that history was also my personal optional subject. I can see Pranjali smiling the moment history came up. Yeah. So, entire history, okay, syllabus is valid for GS. So, ancient, medieval, modern India, and then modern world. History paper 1 for optional, section A will be ancient India, section B will be medieval India, and history paper 2 is modern. Section A will be modern India and section B will be modern world. All of them. All of them. There are now 52 topics defined in history syllabus. All of them are valid for GS. So what I would suggest to you is to plan your daily schedule, whatever time you are able to put in, about 6 hours in spite of your job, and then maybe 12 or slightly more hours on your holiday, etc. So you can prepare even as you are doing the job, but ensure that you are studying GS and history like simultaneously. That's my suggestion to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Dilaka.
Hello.
Karan, go ahead.
Yes,
Samruddhi
sir.
will come back to you. Karan, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm. My name is Karan Malankar. I'm just a fresher. I'm just starting UPSC course from today itself. Okay. So, what type of study I should do to prepare for this exam?
Like I said, I will repeat. It's not at the risk of repetition. I'll say it again. NCERT from standard 5 to standard 12 for all subjects. So there is history, there is civics, there is social issues of India, there is India and the world, and you need to be good at science and technology also. So there are science, biology, physics, chemistry, and also science and technology in India. Start with NCERT. I will repeat that all those books are available on the net. They are downloadable. Start with them and add one of the 3 basic guides I just told you. Plus, I also said that for you to focus on preparation, please read Nava Vijaypath, and I am there to help you again. I can also talk on phone. Nava Vijaypath also will give you the full idea, and accordingly start. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. I'm
Go ahead.
Samruddhi.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, sorry. that Arogya Setu app was in a lot of controversy when it was launched for the first time.
Right.
So I wanted to ask if it was actually that helpful.
I have myself downloaded Arogya Setu. I have answered all the questions over there, and therefore I am absolutely convinced that it's a good app. There is no infringement on our privacy, and every enlightened Indian citizen must cooperate the government. Also download Arogya Setu. Hopefully follow the discipline that is required. Unfortunately, my dear friends, the country that we are, I hope you are noticing what is happening. But first part of our question, Samruddhi, that Arogya Setu is a good app, and I don't think it encroaches on your individual privacy or something. It's not like government is stealing your data, and it's not like government is supplying that data to some other company and making a lot of work on it. So feel free. You ended your question by saying, was it really useful? I am convinced out of even self-experience that it is indeed very, very useful. Everyone should use that. But then we are seeing the explosion of Corona. I'm happy to have some of the Mumbai friends also joining us. And I feel so eternally grateful to technology. See, here I am sitting at my home in the study, and there you are sitting comfort, and still we can meet in the cyberspace and we can interact and talk. I express my gratitude for all those technocrats who have made this possible. So you are seeing the situation of Corona. It's all unpredictable. In spite of our lockdowns, I hope you see that India every day has bigger number of Corona cases. Every next day beats yesterday's record. Like I know today's fresh Corona cases reported were 11,000 something. I had begun to wonder whether we are entering stage 3, that from cluster to community transmission, whether it has happened. If that happens, we are all in for big, huge trouble and troubled times. But then WHO clarified that no, India has not yet entered the community transmission phase. So the times are indeed troubled. Come on. And there is at least still, Ramdev Baba does say that he has found out a remedy for Corona. उनके मुंह में घी शक्कर और आप सभी के मुंह में घी शक्कर. But let that medicine be tested, and let those who approve a medicine, Food and Drug Administration, let them certify that now this medicine is ready for human consumption. We keep getting other reports from, say, France or also USA that labs are at it and they are trying to find it. The virus is proving to be intractable because it mutates at a pace faster than the pace at which a vaccine can work on that virus. So far we are finding it intractable. As all family members now, allow me to also share my grief because a Mandal student, outstanding Chanakya Mandal student, she completed her master's in law and now she is practicing advocate in High Court. She is also legal advisor for a couple of companies. She lost her father to Corona. I must tell you that I have still not recovered because her father was only 61, age 6. आणि हा नॉर्मलच खोकला आहे, याचा कोरोनाशी काही संबंध नाही. आणि पहा की तरी तुम्ही सेफ आहात ना. 6 फूट का इथे माझ्यापासून फुटाभराच्या अंतरावर आहात, पण अजून तरी कोरोना ऑप्टिकल फायबरच्या द्वारा आणि मग तुमच्या स्क्रीनवरनं तुमच्याकडे येत नाही. सो आय हॅव नॉट येट रिकवर्ड. आय एम टेलिंग यू, शी इज इन डीप grief, struggling with her grief, but at what a serious cost, man. So I started out with this by saying main point was Arogya Setu, and I urge all of you to download it, fill up the information. I also urge you, request you to tell it to others also to do the same. ठीक है? Next question, please.
Hello, sir. Radhika Sawant here.
Hmm.
I'm from Mumbai's preparatory batch. I've just completed it. Sir, I've decided to take management as my optional subject, and I would like a guidance on it. Like how should I approach the subject regarding studies and all?
Radhika, I'm sorry, I couldn't catch the question. Will you please repeat?
Yes, sir. Sir, I've decided to take management as my optional
Yeah,
subject.
yeah.
I'm a graduate from business administration. My third year exams are being stalled, but
Right.
then I've decided to do management. So
Yeah.
I would request a guidance on how should I
Great.
approach this.
Excellent, Radhika. Thanks to your question, we will spend a few minutes on a basic issue, that is how to pick up an optional subject. Actually, I will first of all respond to your question, Radhika, that management is a good subject to pick up. I hope you have seen the syllabus, UPSC syllabus for management. Take a good look at question papers for management for last 5 years,
Yes,
and
sir.
also collect requisite books specifically required for UPSC. Collect them together and you can start your studies. I have almost automatically answered the question of how to pick up optional subject. Huh? Basic criteria is pretty simple. Pick up the subject that you like and understand. Like and understand. Like Radhika said, since she is doing MBA, she would like
BB.
to pick up management. DBM, okay, okay. She would like to pick up management. Similarly for all of you. So go for the subject that you like and understand. These are the two most basic. People start discussing about which are scoring subjects. And I wonder whether you can score in a subject if you don't like that subject or if you don't understand that subject. So a scoring subject will differ from person to person. It's not like one given subject will be scoring. Personally, my subjects were history and pol science. But does it mean that I should ask every one of you to go for history and pol science? Then throughout all these years, we know that more than 80%, even as many as 90% of the total students who appear for UPSC pick up one of the 5 subjects. 80 to 90% are in these 5 subjects: history, pol science, public administration, sociology, and geography. But does it mean that you have to pick up one of those 5? Doesn't mean at all. Like Radhika wants to pick up management. How to pick up? Basic criteria is the subject that you like and the subject that you understand. Our goal in UPSC is to score, of course. So one has to look at the score. There are some other criteria that for a given subject, are there experts who can guide you in that subject? They say, and I know this year, many students with philosophy as their optional subject have cleared main exam. I conducted their mock interview. So philosophy. But for the subject of philosophy, are there expert persons who can guide you? Sometimes some students talk about source material, study material available. I must tell you that all those are minor issues. The major issue is, are you going to enjoy studying that subject? Do you understand that subject and do you like that subject? Because your capacity to score high in that subject will be if you like that subject and if you understand that subject. That's the basic one. Then if someone says that I like and understand more than one subject, say 2 or 3 or 4, I'm considering between. For example, even for Radhika, I will urge her to take a look at the syllabus for public administration. Because public administration, 50% of the syllabus for public administration is same as management, but another 50% is India's constitution and India's bureaucratic structure, government. That is 100% valid for GS also. So you may take a look at syllabus for public administration, question papers for public administration, and one UPSC oriented book each for public administration. So it is a 3-stage exercise. think of subjects under consideration, and do this 3-stage comparison of the subjects, I am absolutely certain that by the end of this 3-stage exercise, you will have arrived at the subject you want to pick up, and then we are here to be of any help, whatever. Thank you, Radhika.
Thank you so much, sir.
एवढा खोकला नको आहे. Right? Actually, I'm going to say if there are no more questions, ही समृद्धी पुरव पण हात वर करते ना. Yes, समृद्धी पुरव, go ahead.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are. There is no force in the world which can keep you from being audible.
I wanted to ask,
Something.
I am preparing for UPSC 2021 and how to maintain a balance between dynamic current affairs and static general studies portion which we are doing from guides and NCRTs. How to maintain a balance between them.
Yeah. One of my next full session once the course gets going is going to be a 1.5 or 2 hour session only on current events and current issues. I am going to be very brief here. Think of civil service exam in one go. The single most important component of civil service exam is current events. So you do need to allocate substantial amount of even time for current events. So Samruddhi, you and the likes have already got the question correctly as to how to maintain that balance. You need to regularly read newspapers, selected news magazines like India Today, etc., and alternately keep watching news channels. Plus, of course, for the UPSC course, I will be conducting one session of 2 hours each steadfastly throughout the year on current events and current issues. To the extent to which I can quantify, I would say that in a day of, say, 10 hours of study, about 2 hours may be devoted for current events and current issues, and rest of the 8 hours need to be for what you called as the static part of GS. I hope this makes it clear and easy for you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next question.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
How to prepare Indian Forest Service?
Vishal, I couldn't catch all the words. And
Indian Forest Service.
Right. As you and everyone would know, prelim is the same one. There is no difference. You are required to have biology as your subject, and the main exam will be different, and interview also is conducted differently. Does it help you, Vishal, right now? You are muted, Vishal, if you can hear me. I'm seeing a sign here that your mic
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. Now I could hear you. Okay, the next question.
Hello.
Yes, Vishal, go ahead.
How to prepare Indian Forest Service?
Vishal, I personally don't claim to be expert in Indian Forest Service. I can place you in contact with those experts for Indian Forest Service, but I just gave you an outline that preparation for Indian Forest Service, system-wise, method-wise, is almost same as preparation for civil service exam. and the prelim in fact is the same one. It is for the main exam that your paths differ, and like UPSC civil service, even for Indian Forest Service, your interview is conducted. So you are required to develop those requisite skills of answer writing in the main exam. They are same as UPSC, and interview skills which are same as UPSC, only the interview is conducted separately. I hope this helps you to start with.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Abhijit.
Good evening, sir. I just want to know that which strategy we should follow for NCERT reading books, and also could you please guide us on time management technique?
Like I said, first is reading of entire NCERT. You may choose to underline as you go on reading. And in terms of time management also, there is a full chapter in Nawab Vijaypath, although again I will briefly summarize here. Like I have suggested, your time and place to be carefully decided. That at specific time and place, you should be studying. Once, like I'm sitting in my study, because an almost automatic atmosphere gets ready. And at that given time and place, your study automatically becomes more effective. For UPSC preparation, I would say average study of 8 to 9 hours, 8 or 9 hours. Average but effective study of 8 or 9 hours per day. And then my request always is for you to plan your entire day and accordingly allocate depending on which subject is tougher, which is simpler. In terms of time management, I have also used another word. The word is chunk. And the time management principle is allot time in chunks. So what do we mean by chunk? Chunk is that length of time for which you are at your best. That is chunk. So once I start studying, initially my concentration level, etc. may be lower. Then it gradually picks up. At a point of time, it reaches its highest and stays there. It's called the plateau. And then beyond a certain point of time, it begins to descend. That is what I mean by chunk. You should know, and it's a part of self-awareness, that once you sit down for study, how long can you study without taking a break? Let's say one of our friend can study for like 1.5 hours. Once you sit in a chair, you can be there for 90 minutes effectively. If you know that you can study for 90 minutes at a stretch, then plan for 105 minutes. In a few days, you will come to know that now you can easily, comfortably study for 105 minutes at a stretch. Then increase it to 120 minutes. And this is how you can go on increasing. Allotting time in chunk would mean that that length of time for which you can be at your best. Study only for that time frame. It's not like 8 or 9 hour mean unbroken, continual 8 or 9 hours. It can be chunks of 2 hours each. So time and place habit, chunk. Then another small, I think, I am certain you will enjoy this concept. It is prime time. Prime time means when you are at your best. What time of the day are you at your best? Every one of us has what is called as biorhythm. It's also known as circadian rhythm. That some of us, if I'm to make things simple, some of us are night birds. Sometimes I think by looking at the faces, I can tell you. The moment I said night birds here, Radhika and Pranali, they are smiling because they seem to be night birds. Till very recently, I was a night bird. That is no more the case because I had to change and then I did change. Okay. But if you are night bird, then you should be focusing on study during the night. But some of us, it's possible, can be day birds. You like to wake up earlier. So if that is the case, so that self-awareness is important. And then use the best time of the day for UPSC preparation. That is called prime time. And for another time, we may be at low-key, like afternoons are generally low-key. In country like India, with heat, and if it is Mumbai, add humidity, not humility. Add humidity to the already heat, and we are troubled. So that may not be the time when we study. Or what you can do is prime time to be allotted for a tougher subject, or prime time to be reserved for the subject in which you have the capacity to score more. And unprimed time can be used for subjects which you are already good at. Or even in terms of activity for studying, we call it SQ3R. Study techniques is question, and 3 R's are read, write, recite. Now recite doesn't only mean by heart the subject. By recite I would say recollect. So it's a memory function. So you can allot your best period for tougher subject, or best period of the day for focusing on the subject in which you score. Thanks to this question, I will just use maybe 2 or 3 minutes to tell you something I hope you find beautiful. Huh?
Sure, sir.
When you start your study, imagine you are sitting at the table and you are there. And you have planned your study, so you know that given next 2 hours, I'm going to study geography. As I'm talking to you, ask yourself how you go on preparing. I'm afraid maybe you come running from some place. Maybe you just heard some important news like Gujarat earthquake again, or a couple of our officers in Pakistan are missing. Officers working in Indian embassy, they are missing. And India has given a stern notice to Pakistan, and India has invited Pakistani ambassador, that is High Commissioner in India. Please remember that a country summoning the High Commissioner or ambassador of the other country is just one step short of war, legal declaration of war. So things are heating up there. So you have heard all of them, you are in a disturbed mood, and then you come up running from some place. Just pull up the geography book, open the page and start studying. I'm afraid that's how we must enter the studies. And similarly, when my studies are about to be over, all I do is close the book, push it away, then push the chair, get up from the chair and run away. What I'm suggesting to you in that place is plan your studies. So when you know that for next 2 hours you're going to study geography, okay? First of all, open the geography book, maybe the geography notebook, maybe many other sources. Like for UPSC geography, you are required to study Majid Hussain. And what is that Chinese name? There is a Chinese. G.C. Leongo. G.C. Leongo, yeah. G.C. You are required to study G.C. Leongo. It's a Chinese sounding name. But since it is not coronavirus, you may keep the book with you. So open the book, open the notes, sit there, close your eyes for about 2 or 3 minutes and deliberately ask your mind, tell your mind that for next 2 hours, I'm going to focus on geography. And when you will feel that your nerve has steadied, your eyeballs have steadied, your pulse is regular, your heart rate is regular, you feel that the mind is focused, then open your eyes and start studying. And it's equal and opposite when you close the studies. That is, don't just push away the book and run away. What you have studied for previous 2 hours will dissipate. What I'm suggesting is the same way you started studying. That now your chunk is about to be over, 2 hours. So 3 minutes before that, just close your eyes and now ask your mind deliberately to think on what all you studied for previous 2 hours. You will actually see that it traverses across your eyes, and you will actually feel that while you have read that in last 2 hours, but some part is going blank. Okay, just open that part, read it again, and then close your session. That is each session wise. And similarly, right now we are short on time, so I will be very brief with the next habit. That is either your tough subject, difficult subject, okay, or the subject in which you want to score higher. Take that subject to bed. That's what I'm saying. Take that subject to bed. What I mean to say is, that you are sitting on your bed for about 30-45 minutes, on the higher side 1 hour. Huh? Read that. And as you start feeling sleepy, just go to sleep. I know some students may tell me that by reading that they lose their sleep. और भी अच्छी बात है, दुधात साखर. Because continue to read that. There will be a time based on your personal body rhythm at a time, at a particular point, you will feel like sleeping. Just close the book, let the book be at your head, near your head, and sleep. Okay? And next day morning when you wake up, again pick up that book for initial about 15 or 20 minutes. Read it and then get up from your bed to start your morning course. Within no time you will feel that that subject is either less and less tougher, or your capacity to score more increases. For over 45 years I have been doing this. That given at a point of time, if I want to study some particular subject in depth, that is what I read at the time of sleeping, and even after getting up for a few initial minutes I read that and then start my daily regular. If I am to study something new, like see, coronavirus also was a new thing. Am I expert in coronavirus? No. But IAS officers are supposed to be experts at becoming experts. So that there is a method of go on studying. So if I am to read the biology of coronavirus, what is a virus? How do they develop? Why are they called parasites? And then the science side, then the medical science side, medicine, and the social, etc. So I have spoken about corona and its economic effects, social effects, political effects in one longish talk which is there on YouTube, and people have been appreciating. I am happy about it. Then after even deeper study, once I define what is the corona induced situation, I have given a full talk and also written it as an article about possible solutions or what are the future paths. You can do that. I am doing it not because I am someone special. Everyone is special. So you also can do that. So the night and the day, you start like this, you will go on becoming experts. I hope this helps your question. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Abhijit. Yeah, so Samruddhi again. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir. I am willing to take sociology as my optional.
Yeah.
So, my attempt is in 2022. So, what should be my strategy and what sources should I recommend?
Yeah. Like sociology, almost all subjects for UPSC optionals, there is something like a must read. That the entire book is prepared exactly as per UPSC syllabus. So your strategy should be to pick up that book for sociology. That book is Sociology by Vidya and Sachdeva. Sociology by Vidya and Sachdeva is a basic compulsory reading for sociology as an optional. And since you have 2 years, you can use this year to also read that entire book. It's again a big dhokla. So you can read that. And at Chanakya Mandal, we have experts in sociology who had their own subject sociology and who have cleared. And with our mentorship program, we will place you in touch with that Karyakarta Adhikari who had sociology as the subject. He can go on guiding you. Plus we have those who also teach sociology at Chanakya Mandal. I hope it helps you. Siddhe?
Okay, sir. Namaste, sir.
Namaste.
Sir, I want to ask you that how should I study simultaneously UPSC and MPSC?
Okay, good question. Huh? Good question. In fact, when the regular course starts and I am conducting sessions, I urge the UPSC batch to also study and prepare for MPSC. And I also urge MPSC batch to also think of UPSC. प्रणालीनी हा प्रश्न इंग्लिश मध्ये जरी बोलला असला तरी आपण या सत्राचा शेवट करतो, म्हणून मी चॉईस करतोय की ही शेवटची काही वाक्य मायबोलीमध्ये बोली. करिअर प्लॅन साठी एका वेळी युपीएससी आणि एमपीएससी दोन्ही करता पुढे सरकावं अशी माझी स्ट्रॉंग सजेशन आहे. कोणाचा तरी आवाज डिस्टर्ब करतोय या सगळ्यामध्ये, कोणाचा तरी माईक बहुधा अनम्यूट आणि आता थांबला तो आवाज. थँक्यू थांबला तो आवाज. तर माझीच सजेशन आहे की दोन्ही करता पुढे सरका. आता एमपीएससी ला किमान वयोमर्यादा 19 आहे. तर माझा खूप जणांच्या बाबतीत अनुभव आहे, विशेषतः तुमच्या जन्माच्या वर्षी जर तुमची जन्मतारीख 1 ऑगस्टच्या पुढची असेल तर तुमच्या बाबतीत अशी वेळ येते की युजीसीची डिग्री तर हातात आहे पण अजून वय 21 पूर्ण नाही, त्यामुळे युपीएससी ला नाही बसता येणार. अशा वेळी सुद्धा मी सुचवत असतो मग की मग तू आधी एमपीएससी पण दे, पदवी मिळवल्यानंतर पदव्युत्तर म्हणजे पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन पण कर आणि मग 21 पूर्ण झालं की युपीएससी पण दे. ज्यांना दोन्ही द्यायचं असेल किंवा दिलं पाहिजे हे मी म्हणतो, उलट दोन्ही दिलं पाहिजे. म्हणून छान प्रश्न आला शेवटाकडे, हा आजच्या आपल्या सत्राकरताचा शेवटचा होणार प्रश्न, पण खूप चांगला आला की दोन्ही करा आणि मग दोन्हीचं सायमल्टेनियसली कसं करू. एकदम सोपं उत्तर आहे, एकदम सोपं आहे. तुम्ही जर युपीएससीचा अभ्यास करत असाल तर तुमचा एमपीएससीचा सुमारे 85% अभ्यास ऑटोमॅटिकली होतो. ऑटोमॅटिकली युपीएससीच्या अभ्यासातच 85% ऑफ एमपीएससी, उरलेलं 15% सुद्धा काय आहे. तर आपली एक आनंदाची गोष्ट म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राचं देशात स्थान असं काही आहे की महाराष्ट्रात घडणाऱ्या प्रत्येक गोष्टीला आपोआप ऑल इंडिया अर्थ असतो. त्यामुळे ते ऑल इंडिया लेवलच्या परीक्षेत सुद्धा म्हणजे युपीएससीत सुद्धा येतं. उदाहरणार्थ की स्वातंत्र्य लढा देशाचा, तर महाराष्ट्राशिवाय आहे काय स्वातंत्र्य लढा? नाहीये. समाज सुधारणा चळवळ, तर फुले शाहू आंबेडकरांना गाळून काय करता येणार आहे का समाज सुधारणा चळवळ? आणि मग महात्मा फुले, शाहू महाराज आणि बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर यांच्या कार्याला ऑल इंडिया अर्थ आहे. त्यामुळे एमपीएससीचा अभ्यास करताना सुद्धा ऑटोमॅटिकली युपीएससीचा अभ्यास होतो, पण मी तो म्हणतोय की साधारण 60% होतो. युपीएससीचा करत असलात अभ्यास तर एमपीएससीचा ऑटोमॅटिकली 85% होतो. एमपीएससीचा करत असलात तर युपीएससीचा ऑटोमॅटिकली 60% होतो. आता या दोनातला कशाचा कराल तर मी म्हणेन की तुमची प्रायोरिटी काय आहे त्याचा विचार करा. तुमची जर प्रायोरिटी युपीएससी असेल तर मग मुख्य अभ्यास युपीएससी करा. 21च्या आधी असेल तर मग एमपीएससी फोकस करा. पण तुमची जर प्रायोरिटी असेल की नाही मला एमपीएससी द्वारा, ऑल्दो आजचं सेशन युपीएससी करताय त्यामुळे हे गृहीत आहे की आज जे सहभागी आहेत ते सगळे युपीएससीच देणार आहेत, तर मग तो करताना एमपीएससीचा होणारच आहे. उरेल फक्त 15% बाकीचा. त्या 15%चा प्लॅन करा, दिवसाचा ऍव्हरेज 1 किंवा 1.5 तास, की जे युपीएससीत नाही पण एमपीएससीत आहे. म्हणजे सांगतो काय काय, काही महाराष्ट्र स्पेसिफिक विषय आहेत त्यांच्यावर अधिक लक्ष द्यावं लागेल. कृषी घ्या समजा, तर एमपीएससी मध्ये कृषीला अधिक महत्व आहे, ते बरोबरच आहे. आणि ती महाराष्ट्राची कृषी, त्यामुळे महाराष्ट्राचा भूगोल, महाराष्ट्राचे 9 ॲग्रो क्लायमॅटिक झोन्स आहेत. आता मान्सून तर झाला चालू, शास्त्रीय दृष्ट्या सांगून झालं की मान्सून संपूर्ण महाराष्ट्रावर पसरलाय आणि या वर्षीचा मान्सून ॲव्हरेज पावसा एवढा होणार आहे असं या कोरोनाच्या दुःखामध्ये त्यातल्या त्यात सुखाची आलेली बातमी. किंवा इकॉनॉमी, अर्थव्यवस्था हा घटक असेल तर युपीएससी देताना संपूर्ण भारताच्या अर्थव्यवस्थेला महत्व आहे, जबकि एमपीएससी द्यायचं असेल तर त्यातल्या महाराष्ट्राकडे लक्ष द्यावं लागेल. अगदी शेवटचं एक छोटं उदाहरण की 1 फेब्रुवारी 2020 ला निर्मला सीतारामन यांनी देशाचं बजेट मांडलं. ठीक आहे, एमपीएससी करता संपूर्ण देशाच्या बजेटचाही अभ्यास करावाच लागतो. आणि मी जाता जाता आठवण करून देतो की त्या बजेटवरचंही माझं 1.5-2 तासाचं सत्र आपल्या युट्यूब चॅनलवर आहे. पण एमपीएससी देणाऱ्यांना त्यानंतर म्हणजे 6 मार्चला अर्थमंत्र्यांनी म्हणजे महाराष्ट्राचं बजेट मांडलं. तर एमपीएससी देताना महाराष्ट्राच्या बजेटचाही अभ्यास करावा लागतो. एमपीएससी साठी महाराष्ट्राच्या आर्थिक पाहणीचा अहवाल त्याचा, पण तो सगळा मिळून एकूणाच्या सुमारे 15%. तर मला वाटतं की एका वेळी एमपीएससी आणि युपीएससी करता कसं पुढे सरकावं असं माझं सांगून झालं. आय होप यू हॅव एन्जॉयड लास्ट. अजून आहे बर, सिद्धार्थ मला म्हणतोय की अजून आहेत प्रश्न आणि आपण थोडे एक्सटेंड करू. फक्त इथे माझ्यासमोर आकडा असतो हा किती जण आहेत आणि तो असा एक एक कमी होत चालला की त्यांचे कोणाची प्रत्येकाला फ्रीडम आहे. पण सिद्धार्थ म्हणतोय की काही प्रश्न आहेत तर आपण घेऊयात मग ते काही प्रश्न. पुढचा ज्याचा आहे तो प्लीज गो अहेड.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Pranav Joshi from Solapur.
Yes, Pranav.
सर माझा प्रश्न असा होता की युपीएससी साठी आता मी पेपर वाचनांमध्ये इंडियन एक्सप्रेस यूज करतो आणि मराठीसाठी सकाळ यूज करतो. तर त्या अतिरिक्त मी अजून काही यूज करायला पाहिजे का? आणि करंट अफेअर्स साठी कुठलं दुसरं मॅगझिन तुम्ही सांगू शकाल का?
एक तर अजूनही युपीएससीच्या प्रिपरेशन साठी हिंदू वाचावा लागतो. जबकि ते वाचताना फक्त एवढं लक्षात ठेवलं पाहिजे की हिंदूमध्ये व्यक्त होणारी मतं हिंदूची आहेत आणि राजकीय विचारधारेच्या भाषेत बोलायचं तर ती लेफ्टिस्ट आहे. पण अभ्यास पाहिजे, फक्त त्याच्यावर स्वतंत्र बुद्धीने विचार पण केला पाहिजे. आणि मराठीमध्ये मी सकाळच्या बरोबरीने महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स आणि लोकसत्ता सुचवेन, हे जरूर वाचावे. मॅगझिन्स मध्ये जे आधीच माझं बोलून झालं की इंडिया टुडे नियमितपणे वाचला जे चालले, पण विशेषतः युपीएससीच्या करंट इव्हेंट्सची काही मॅगझिन्स आहेत. उदाहरणार्थ आपण चाणक्य मंडलचंच काढतो, फक्त ते मराठीत असतं. मराठी वाचता येत असेल तर ते जरूर वाचावं. इंग्लिशमध्ये मी रेकमेंड करतो सिव्हिल सर्व्हिस क्रॉनिकल नावाचं मॅगझिन. आर्थिकदृष्ट्या शक्य असेल तर त्याचं सबस्क्रिप्शन भरून सिव्हिल सर्व्हिस क्रॉनिकल घरी पण मागवावा. हे सगळे एकत्र मग आपल्याला युपीएससीतल्या करंट इव्हेंट्सच्या दृष्टीने समर्थपणे पुढे सरकता येईल. पुढचा तन्मय, फक्त तुझा माईक म्युटेड आहे.
नमस्ते सर.
येस तन्मय.
Sir, my question is how to overcome fear of English. Means, sir, I can speak in English or I can understand English very well, but as it comes to write an answer in exam, my mind automatically stops. So, how to overcome that fear?
Actually, I promise you that I'll conduct a full separate session for all those who want to attend. And this question about English, developing command over English, and also Tanmay very frankly used the words fear of English. Especially he has the fear of writing in English. But then, as of now, the answer is surprisingly simple. Surprise! One sentence in English says, "Practice makes man perfect." Practice makes man perfect. So, each one of us may have to find out which practice we need. So Tanmay personally needs a lot of practice of writing English. Okay. So here, practice makes perfect would mean that Tanmay and the likes of Tanmay should make themselves write something in English every day. So you can start keeping a diary, or when you read the newspapers, you can start writing the summary of news in your own words. Okay. Or write a letter to girlfriend every day and let the girlfriend be same. Don't keep changing her every single day just because she came over to Pune. Now you want to find out another girlfriend in Mumbai. But express yourself. Keep expressing yourself. तन्मयला मी पकडलेलं दिसतंय बरं का काहीतरी. दाल में कुछ काला है. So another principle, like I said, the first one is practice makes man perfect. Another sentence is confront your demons. It's a principle. The principle, confront your demons. By confront your demons means face your fears. And how do you face your fear? By making yourself do what you are doing afraid of doing. So, are you afraid of swimming? Jump into the pool. Are you afraid of heights? Go to the heights. Are you afraid of talking to people? Make yourself talk to people. And are you afraid of writing English? Write something every day and your English will keep improving within no time. Thank you, Tanmay. Next question, please.
Hello, sir.
Sir, actually, I have two questions. My first question is that, like, I am a very slow writer. When it comes to completing my papers, I am unable to finish my writing in the stipulated time. So, in terms of precise writing or fast writing, how should I do the practice? And if I say that I will do the practice, then that doesn't suffice the purpose if I keep on practicing the writing for hours and hours, because if I keep on writing, then when will I read the books?
Yeah.
So this is my first question, and the second question is that one of my friends is also from English medium and wants to join Chanakya Mandal's MPSC class, but the problem is MPSC doesn't have English medium batch for MPSC. So in the coming days, is Chanakya Mandal planning to come up with MPSC English medium batch? And if not so, then I would like to really request to come up with MPSC English medium batch, because then for the students like us, it shall be very helpful.
Good.
Because we don't want to opt for any other class other than Chanakya Mandal. That's the thing. So these are my two worries.
You have also made my evening more delightful. Thank you. And of course, best wishes for you. First question.
Thank you, sir.
Speed of writing. I think with UPSC, there will be less of a problem. Because in UPSC, it is the quality of the answers that matters more than the quantity or length of the answer. In fact, in UPSC, as you must have heard me say in the earlier minutes of my talk, that lengthy answers are not required. UPSC tells you the space and you have to write your answer within that space. So I don't think pace would be a problem. But then given any UPSC paper, you are required to write 3,000 to 3,600 words. That is the range. And in times to come, if you practice writing 3,000 to 3,600, I have translated that into an average speed, and that would be like 20 words per minute. So as you go on practicing, if you ensure that you are writing 20 words per minute, or given 3 hours that you can write on an average about 3,600 words, you need not worry about the speed, but that will be the speed that will be required. And there, if required, you may have to do a practice. Now, practicing will not mean keep writing for 3 hours every day. Practice could mean practice writing an answer each day. So you are left with time to read the books also. Now about MPSC batch in English medium, Harshita, there is a reason why we have followed this policy. Karan Malandkar कॅमेऱ्याच्या समोर लटकवत सर माझी बिनपाण्यानी करा असा बसलाय. तो त्याच्या इतका भीषण दिसत होते केस, आणि मी तसा बसलो तर माझं टक्कल दिसेल. So Harshita, there is a reason why at Chanakya Mandal we follow a policy that UPSC will be predominantly in English medium, while it is by or trilingual. Even UPSC English के साथ साथ हिंदी भी चलेगा और मराठी भी चलेगा. और खासकर विद्यार्थियों को ये मोहलत रहती है कि वो कह सकते हैं कि मराठी में बताइए जरा या हिंदी में बताइए, ये चलेगा. Similarly for MPSC, we policy wise we have it in Marathi for a very simple reason that you are doing MPSC means you are going to be administrator in Maharashtra, and entire functioning of Maharashtra right up to the senior most level goes on in Marathi. So, and the paper also is in Marathi or English medium. I have personally suggested one solution, that those who want to prepare for MPSC in English medium, okay, will in the UPSC batch. So automatically they will hear over 85% of the content in English. And conversely, this year actually, we are starting a UPSC batch in Marathi. That plan we will prepare. But as to MPSC in English, I will have to form a judgment about whether that can be a full batch. And batch would at least mean 40 to 60 students. Then we can effectively have. If I find that that is happening, I would be happier than you to start MPSC batch in English medium. Pending that, I just explained the policy why we do that. I hope it satisfies you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Rishabh?
My name is Rishabh from Pune, and I have two questions actually. First one is that does Chanakya Mandal Parivar provide coaching for economics optional? Because I intend to take it. And the second question is that in your introductory note, you mentioned that we should read the guidebook at least once. So does it mean that we should always concentrate on repeating a syllabus, or we should just do it once but perfectly?
No, revision is required. Revision is required for UPSC. Actually, once we decide to appear, and that if 2021 is your attempt, then your study needs to be what is called as exam oriented, in quotes, exam oriented. And there it means there are some specific UPSC oriented books. I remember one of the Chanakya Mandal student who was topper in Maharashtra in the year in which she cleared the exam. She read M. Lakshmikant's book on Constitution 7 times. She said, I found the Constitution difficult, but then I read it again and again and again. And at the 6th time, she said, I started understanding the Constitution. So, in the exam year, you should not be reading a lot and in an extended fashion. Your reading should be focused, and that reading should be only UPSC oriented. I hope this satisfies you, Rishabh. And economics, we do offer economics as a subject. We have expert faculty at Chanakya Mandal for economics. And I'm happy to tell you, because you have given me an opportunity to say so, that I myself have done masters in economics as an IS officer. Had I continued, I would be a specialist in economics and finance. So I think I can help you. Go ahead with it. Liking the subject of economics is a good blessing. Now, my dear friends, those of you who are here till the end, see the freedom. If I were conducting the session physically in the classroom, would anyone get off? But I do see that as many as 20 of our friends have closed their session and have gone to some other place. Maybe I am no match for their girlfriends. But you are here. So that gives me opportunity to say all my best wishes, repeated best wishes. We will continue our sessions for you.
Hello.
Day, and our course will commence in the right earnest from 1st of July, and until then, every alternate day we will have our session. Yeah, I will close this by telling you the timetable of next sessions. If you want to note it down, please note and be there. After today, you have a session on 17th, day after tomorrow. And same time, all the days it will be same time. The topic is UPSC syllabus, our course structure, how will be Chanakya Mandal's course in Zoom, and later on, those of you who want to actually join the physical course. So the course structure and the book list. We had a friend who was asking book list. So that is reserved for day after tomorrow. And Swapnil Mungle, our expert faculty, and he is also Chanakya Mandal's CEO, who introduced initially. Swapnil is going to conduct that session. Then Friday, 19th June, there will be a session on study skills, and that will be conducted by a person better than me, and that is my son Siddharth Dharmadhikari. He completed his masters in law, and he is going to engage you for study skills. Then Monday, June 22. As of now, we have scheduled that session with me. I would be happy to be there. but we are also contacting another of our expert faculty. If he is available, then he will conduct. Otherwise, Monday, June 22 is a session with me. For all sessions with me, we call it basic guidance. Maybe if I'm conducting that session, that day in my initial talk, I will focus on how to prepare for current events, current issues, and I will also cite some important current events and issues that are happening in Maharashtra, India and the world, June 22. Then it will be Wednesday, June 24, again Study Skills Part 2 by again Siddhartha. Then Friday, June 26 is how to study current is going to be conducted by two of our faculty from Delhi. They are Vishal Diwan and Jatin Gulati will jointly conduct the session on Friday 26th, and they will be focusing on how to study current. And the last session before our daily sessions begin will be on Monday, June 29, and that is basically focused on optional subjects and how to select optional. Our faculty Viraj Kothari. In fact, I might as well ask Viraj for a change. Viraj Kothari is our expert faculty in CSAT, and it's possible that I will ask him to conduct a session on CSAT, introductory session on CSAT on Monday, June 29. Okay? So, enjoy. All my best wishes for all of you.